Now to what some lawmakers are calling a disastrous national security development. Members of the U.S. intelligence community are raising concerns after the CIA sent an unclassified email with a list of recently hired employees to the White House.
The CIA says it was just complying, with President Trump's executive order, which asked for the list as part of information gathering in their mission to shrink the federal workforce. But the move has alarmed former intelligence officials and lawmakers who worry that America's adversaries could try to exploit it.
These are people who in many instances will have spent, years in training and arguably years in getting security clearances. So just an absolute unnecessary counterintelligence risk was assumed today.
A CIA spokesperson tells NBC News the CIA became the first major national security agency to offer buyouts to its entire workforce on Tuesday.
NBC News national security reporter Dan Luce has been covering this story, joins us now. So Dan, what more do we know about this list the CIA shared with the White House, and why was it sent in an unclassified email?
Joe, it's just extraordinary. The explanation they're giving is that they had this deadline to meet, like all federal agencies, to provide a list of all the recently hired employees from about the last 2 years. And they didn't have they say there was not a classified way to send it to the Office of Personnel Management, which had a lot of lawmakers scratching their heads, asking how is it possible that there isn't a way to, securely provide that information. So instead, they chose to send it this list with first names and the initials of people's last names. That was their way of trying to protect people's identities. But of course, you have all this criticism now saying any foreign intelligence service really worth its weight is going to be able to figure out using public data and other records who these people might be, and even their addresses, using credit card records and so on. So it's really a tremendous security breach here, and it could affect people's careers and even their safety.
Dan, this kind of information is typically kept classified, right, for a reason. So what are the potential consequences of a list like this being out there unredacted? How serious is it for the individuals, for the employees listed?
It will depend on the employee, of course. Some of these people are not necessarily going to be going abroad and, conducting covert operations or being case officers. They might be at a desk as some kind of analyst. However, even then, they might have very sensitive contacts in their movements and in their travels. Ultimately, it puts people's lives in danger. That's what former intelligence officers say. And, you have to go back to the 1970s when lists of CIA employees were put out there by opponents of the CIA, and there was tremendous risk there, and actually people lost their lives. So it's no joke. It's very serious. The question is, who did this? And the speculation is, was it possibly someone in the Trump transition team who doesn't have kind of as much experience with handling, sensitive or classified information? It seems possible, but unlikely that a CIA staff employee would have done something like this, because it would sort of go against their training.
Dan, on top of all this, we know on Tuesday the CIA offered employees 8 months of pay in exchange for quitting their jobs. We know the Trump administration is trying to take these steps to reduce the workforce across all 18 intelligence agencies. These are obviously important jobs. They're not easily replaced. I mean, how could this kind of paring down just impact national security broadly?
This is unprecedented, really, Joe. We've never seen a situation where an administration just writes a letter to everyone in the CIA or other intelligence agencies and says, you can leave and get 8 months' pay, take it or leave it, without really looking carefully at who does what. Right now, they're going to limit some of this. Some people are not eligible if they have very, very sensitive jobs, but it does run the risk that you lose talent and skill, and people in that agency, they go through years of training. These are not necessarily people that can be easily replaced. So it raises a lot of questions about what the impact will be.
Dan Luce, Dan, appreciate your reporting on this. Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app, or follow us on social media.